Hello.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Can you give the people your name and pronouns, love?
Absolutely. My name is Zayari, and I go by she, they.
And how old are you and where are you located?
I am 24, and I am a Carolina girl, North Carolina to be specific.
Where, Carolina. What is
Okay?
what is your zodiac or B day?
I am a Leo, and I am the first day of Leo, July 23rd.
All right, Leo. Make some noise. Roar.
Okay.
What is your sexual orientation?
I've found myself mostly attracted to men, but I am open to all kinds of people. I've just the opportunity to go any other way has never presented itself per se.
What do you do for a living?
Um, I do so many things. I am a singer songwriter. I am also a writer. I'm working on a novel right now. In my day to day life, I am a florist and a bartender.
Why would you say that you're single?
I would say, admittedly, I probably have high expectations. I I've grown up watching other people's relationships and kind of learned a lot from watching other people go through things. And so I know what I'm willing to accept for myself. And a lot of people within my own generation are not necessarily ready for the kind of commitment I'm ready for. Yeah.
Do you think that you're ready for love though?
I think that I am. I wouldn't have said yes to that question maybe like a year or two ago, but I think that I am now.
What's changed?
I think so I got fired from my job. I didn't get fired actually. My job unexpectedly shut down um 3 months ago, and I was a manager at a restaurant. And I worked one day, and literally the next day they sent a text message to all of us that they were shutting down the entire store. And so I was just like, oh wow. And so I just decided to stay unemployed for a little while, and I spent that time doing a lot of soul searching and just like self development time. And I just recently got back to having a job, and I've kind of more found myself and discovered myself. And so I think I'm more in a place where I could accept love because I feel like I deserve it. I think it was very important because I have been very hyper independent since I've been 18. I moved out on my own at like 18, 19, and I moved to Atlanta, and I kind of lived on my own for a little while. And so I think I just became to always taking care of myself, both physically and emotionally. And so it was nice to kind of take a step back to take care of the inside as well.
Absolutely. Have you ever been in a relationship, in a committed relationship that you say?
I have not. I used to sometimes think like, gosh, somebody should have come around by now. But I think that it's kind of been a protection for me, especially listening to a lot of other people's experiences of what a lot of young queer people, especially young black queer people, go through in relationships. I think I've avoided a lot of heartbreak being single this long. So
It sounds like you're setting yourself up to be emotionally stable enough to handle a breakup if it comes to that.
I think I have kind of always tried to accept people for what they can give and not try to place people where they don't want to be. So if someone's not doesn't want to be with me, I don't want to make that about myself. It's not necessarily about me per se. It's about where they are and in that moment, and maybe they're just not ready to meet me there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Could you tell me some of your strengths?
I'm very kind and caring. I'm observant, thoughtful, intelligent, open-minded, and always willing to grow and intake other people's perspectives.
What about weaknesses?
I would say that maybe I could communicate my feelings better. I'm kind of a poker player. I tend to hold my cards close to my chest. I wouldn't say that I'd like to know that other people are feeling me before I express that I'm feeling them. um, I would also say that I can be selfish in a non self sacrificing way. I won't play the martyr. I won't stay anywhere where I feel like I'm going to suffer for whether that be for love, for money, what have it. Perhaps it doesn't make me selfish. Maybe just I can be kind of self focused.
Or we put so much negative connotation on selfish, when in actuality it's something that we all need. A certain amount of selfishness is needed for self-preservation.
Sure.
Could you describe your potential ideal partner?
I would say this person would be open minded, also intelligent, kind, generous, um, someone who has ambition and dreams of their own and not just putting their all into someone else. Um, Someone who has their own thoughts and opinions.
What are your deal breakers, Z?
I would say everybody's kind of saying the hygiene thing, but I'm gonna have to jump on the hygiene shit with them because
It's a good.
you gotta know how to scrub, sweetie. It's important. It's a health thing. I would also say that arrogance is another one. Um, I don't mind someone who's dominant, but I don't like people who are controlling. Um, I'm, it's cigarettes, low key. I was thinking that I don't see too many people my age getting into cigarettes. It's more vapes than anything, definitely.
Do you have any appearance preferences?
I I like someone. I'm a little bit of an Amazonian goddess. I'm 5'9", so I would like someone my height or maybe a little taller. Um, I find myself attracted to all kinds of people, all races of people. But you know, I love my black and brown people. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, as far as appearances, I do love a nice smile. Someone who takes care of themselves on the outside, who doesn't necessarily like take care of themselves for presentation for other people, but because they appreciate themselves and their appearance.
Would you consider yourself more of a dominant or submissive personality in relationships?
So I think that my personality can be seen as kind of dominant in general, but I think in relationships, I do prefer to kind of like hand over the reins on some things. I If I find someone who's really capable of leading in a relationship, I absolutely have no problem following.
I take it. I take it. Is physical intimacy important to you? I know you don't have the most relationship experience, but from what you know, is intimacy important to you?
I think it is. I think that it's not everything, but I think it plays a, a part in the chemistry you have with someone.
I would agree. I would agree absolutely. When were you last physically intimate with someone?
So I've actually never been physically intimate with someone.
I had a feeling the ancestors told me that you have not been deflowered.
I have not. Not deflowered, y'all.
Yes, honey. I appreciate it. I think that that is important for a potential partner to know, and I would personally suggest being the last of my friends who lost their virginity. I would suggest um, definitely only accepting someone who's patient. Look out for patience. Look out for patience. I know for me, I didn't truly over time with everyone else around me being sexually active and me not being sexually active, I started to build a lot of pressure around it. I put pressure on myself and I also put pressure on my partner. So a piece of advice that I would give to you is that you don't have to jump straight in 6 feet. You know, um, and take your time. Take your time. Don't rush yourself because in my experience, the best sex is when you're comfortable.
Absolutely. I think at a point I thought I was like I got to college and I was like, yeah, it'll probably happen here. And then after my freshman year, I was kind of like, I don't really care if it happens. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen with who it's supposed to happen with. So I'm not necessarily waiting on marriage, but I'm waiting to feel a level of emotional connection and comfortability to share that part of myself with someone else.
That may be necessary for you to share that part of yourself with someone else. And don't think you're weird if that's the case. I know hookup culture is very popular, but I'm a demisexual as well. And there's people who look at me cross-eyed, because I'm not as sexually active as someone would expect. But fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What age range are you open to dating?
So I obviously I'm very young, so I as far as I would honestly go, I'd like to be able to go to a bar with someone. So I mean, like 21, any younger than that, and I start feeling kind of funny about it. Yeah. I am open to dating older, but I am also aware that there are older people who would prey on me because they think that I am naive for my age, or they would believe I am naive simply because of my age. So while I am open to dating older, I am also keeping my eyes very open.
But I will say this, not all older people who are open to dating young, not all of them do it for a sense of control. Some older people are just immature.
Yeah. I mean, there are people my age who date to control people, so I am aware that like not all older people are seeking to have a plaything they can tell what to do. But I've just learned to be discerning in all relationships I form, whether it be romantic or platonic, because some people in general are out for something. So you just have to be careful while also being not being scorned or bitter.
How do you feel about kids and marriage in the future?
I, well, I'm from the South, girl, so I'm a bit traditional. I would like to get married and I would also like to have kids someday, but I don't think that my life would fall apart if I never got married or never had kids. It's something I would like, but my life would go on if it didn't.
Based on my conversations with parents, I would say that having a child makes your life more likely to fall apart.
Okay. There's a lot of added responsibility, child. And so I would not, unless I was in a place where I was really financially stable and really, I mean, I think I'm kind of like emotionally stable now, but if I was like really financially prepared to have a child on my own, I can see myself adopting a child. But I would like, I grew up in a single parent household, so I would like another person to parent a child with to give them a family in a sense.
I dig it. Do you have income requirements or expectations for a partner?
I think I would like someone who can take care of themselves, but I do like someone with ambition. I understand that everybody is in different places in their lives, and there's always going to be highs and lows. So I'm not necessarily turning people away, but I would like someone who seeks to take care of themselves and seek and wants more for themselves.
I dig it. No hobosexuals. Night in or night out.
I consider myself kind of like an omnivert. I love a good time out, if I'm at the party, I'll be the life of the party until the party battery dies, and then it's time to take me home. Because I have been known to find a corner to sit quietly in to, and wait till my ride is ready to go. So, and I'm
Believe,
not sure at that.
but
I'll I'll get down while the get down is going, but honey, sometimes it's time to go home.
do you smoke or drink?
So I'm kind of on a hiatus from everything right now. I'm just trying, kind of going on a cleanse, but I do like to enjoy the devil's lettuce every now and then. And I do like to enjoy drinking, but I'm more of like a social drinker. So if I'm out with people, I'll have a drink, but I'm not necessarily sit on the couch and have 2 bottles of wine drink.
Are you willing to relocate for love, or does the person have to be in the South, have to be in the Carolinas?
Child, I will relocate. Get me out of here. I'm trying to find somewhere to move now as it is. So within the next year, I hope I can find somewhere else to live. I want to live a lot of different places, so I'm always down to move.
Oh, you said you already lived in Atlanta. I was going to recommend Atlanta. How do you feel about Atlanta?
So when I lived in Atlanta, I was 18. Well, no, I wasn't 18. That's a lie. I was 20 actually, and moved down there with a friend of mine, and it did not go well. This friend was a platonic friend, and it was another girl. Um, and we just had a lot of issues, and I had a lot of other things going on at the time, so it kind of soured my experience of Atlanta in general. And at the time, I was like, I would never move back to Atlanta. I hate Atlanta. But after having some years to kind of sit on it and really think about it, I think I would move back to Atlanta. I enjoyed being around all the black people, all the black queer people. So I think I would definitely move back to Atlanta. I think that experience alone just kind of rattled me for a second.
And absolutely, pursuing art, I would recommend Atlanta. Final question, love. What would make you a great partner for someone else?
I'm very empathetic and caring. I'm willing to give, and I'm always looking to grow with someone, build something together. I think that I try my best to pay attention to my partner's needs, even if they're not directly sharing them, and try to pick up on what people need, even if they have issues sharing it, like I just said. And I think that I'm thoughtful, and I'm kind of amazing. I'm creative. I'm a visionary. I have a lot of big plans for my life, and I think that I would like to share that with someone else. And I'd also like to support someone else's dreams. I like being a cheerleader as much as I like being the star player.
I ain't mad at all. Tell the people how to get in touch with you.
You can find me on TikTok at z.mier, and then you can find me on Instagram at zay.wm.